What up, guys? Good morning. What's up? Good morning. This is for DJ Envy Manager and DJ Envy number. I have been gave um them the iHeart radio station info and the network New York Center is my number. The network New York people in that tower my number, and I told the Justice Department to call them. This was been going on, and I want to tell people I call all Howard Radio in New York, and they're going to be able to verify something after I call Rockefeller, and they're going to be able to look at my number and know that Dallas number line and Yellow Breezy number line. I'm not lying to you. I call Rockefeller. Go listen to the song all day by Kanye West. What do I have to lie for? And I asked for everybody in that Dallas Galleria Mall and everybody that doing song with Trap Boy Freddy and everybody that decided to go against me to come to the table and give me what belongs to me. So fights was breaking out at that hotel. You don't know nothing. You listening to lies. And God said the reason why I'm not communicating with the streets as like that because the streets are not gonna believe it. They're gonna believe Yellow Breezy. And that's why I got the Justice Department involved in this situation. Involved. We can clear the lies up today. And the streets didn't want that. The streets don't want that. And that can be the biggest problem where the streets do not want to clear the lies up. The streets don't want, my name is Hubert. The streets don't want that. Yellow Breezy don't want that. Trap Boy Freddy Boosie don't want that. Because they want to come off a rich, off and lying on others. I got some New York numbers to California after that New York network have called me. And I've been messaged them this, but I want them to let them know one more time what things what was going on. And people want to know if I took a loss, why I don't want to hang up. You broke my trust too many times in Dallas by standing by the side of Yellow Breeze and them and the rest of them. God don't want nothing to do it. I'm asking for me. And, you know, God said, after senators and CNN and then already know about these things, why justice have not been served? Why things have been taken too far? And you allow Yellow Breeze and them to lie with the rest of these people in here. That's how the people at the mall after I called, because I was going to the mall day and night. Even when I was not in Addison, stand by my house and all the rest. Everybody telling me to move out my house. Let me tell you something. They are scared to lose power. They are scared of those things. Look at these rich people. One thing I see, power loss, selfish power loss, selfish people that got the $1 million mansions. I got other things to do. Other people that depend on me in this matter. They're scared of losing power. Let me tell you something. When I was at my apartment in Addison, when I had my foundation for people, not just black people, white people, grown ass men was acting unprofessional. Sitting right out my window while I was looking out my apartment door in Addison. Called the Addison police a couple of times. They did not want to come. These things that we understand or what's going on, they tried to stop you because their schools are losing power. Sometimes you have to stay strong and place your throne. Snoop Dogg told everybody, I want people to understand it. But Snoop Dogg was had that funeral and he talked to everybody around his crib, around his house. He said, tell everybody to get that foundation where I can help you at more. That anybody that signed to all of those people and he gonna sign, and when he took over Death Row, he want all of them to have a foundation for money can come to them. And that foundation come to their bank account or their house. Come to them. Snoop Dogg already know what he know. Go look at the video with him at the park. He already know what he knows already. 99%, 3,500 for each of your songs that you promote. Let me tell you something. Yella Breezy done something to take off. He's a coward. He tried to take me and Cardi B been communicating for a long time. She didn't mention my name. And Yellow Breeze and them took that. Dollars and racism courts. You know, when I left court the May of 17, there was my lawyer and them and everybody was turning in the game and was turning at me. Let me tell you something. God said when you take something and you lie about it with racism and lie and call me out of my, what makes you different? And the thing we're gonna ask, what makes you different? One thing I don't want to, if you ain't gonna call me about what is mine, don't you call me. I ain't on trial here. Your state is on trial. Your community is on trial. Your rap community on trial. And I'm gonna text my lawyer while I text them. Don't play like I'm on trial and your community and you on trial for crimes of terrorism, crime of racism. I told the Justice Department, nobody knew what was out there because the damn Carrollton police was so damn busy focusing on that damn money while words was being said out that car of racism coming from black Mexican and racism. Don't you play with me when you sit there and watch Carrollton police. But they want to make an example because the hatred that black people have when they come together. And people mad because what has been done. God say, you want to see me, but you're not. I told the Justice Department, what side of history were you? This is not manipulation here. These are about past events that happened. These are about when they check places and do these things. And God said, I have given you not just places, I've given you conversations that I had on social media, things that I had that they took it. I call network senators. When I talked about this blueprint, when I talked about these things, the New York them gave me to California networkers. I got all of these numbers they still gave me. Good luck, have a good day. All the iHeartRadio. I called Rockefeller. Jay-Z, Yellow Breezy heard about me in the Dallas County jail. Yeah, some people was against me, but this one man decided to lie, and when he got out of jail, God, I've been talking about this project inside of, I know Yellow Breezy was going to get out with his bullshit. And he's still doing it. Even before I left the program, before I went into the program, I got into an argument with people. They said that was a good idea. Before we got into an argument, they was like, forgive. Let me tell you something. The situation, one fucking man, ego, he want to get, God said, you don't deserve it, man. You don't deserve the attention of me, Yellow Breezy. You don't deserve the attention of me and my American people when you God say, fuck your music. God say, when you tell lies, you don't deserve that attention of me. But I want DJ Envy, I hung up in your face really quick after I talked about that blueprint in my name. Nobody wanted to be Yellow Breezy. And these motherfuckers, let me tell you something. Each accident that happened when I'm outside in that road is gonna cost them because they've been fussing racism and complaining about their damn textiles. And you have not been fair in society towards disability. You have not been fair in society. You not have treated God's children right in society. You know, they really think because your OG Pee Wee and the rest of them think that, oh, they taunting me, that the government is going to be on your side. That's what you think? They think that because I got this call center issue going on with taunting and they can hold me back on what they can do. You can taunt, oh, he got too much, he ain't going to make it. He got too much going on, he ain't going to make it. They holding him back because the Social Security money. That's what you really think? Dallas, Texas, and OG Pee Wee, and them and the rest of y'all. God said 1,000 years from now, hey, how you doing? It's gonna be more people like me. They're gonna rise of above lies and deception. They're gonna rise of above racism and against God's children. And we are gonna take a stand for growth and personality. What was said on those streets? Sometimes I didn't have my phone on, and sometimes I didn't have my phone. I had my phone on, and sometimes my phone was dead. Yellow Breezy is gonna pay me everything that God said I'm asking for from him. You got it, big time. You stunting with these dumbass niggas, Trap Boy Freddy. Get something from your Dallas friends, Trap Boy Freddy. Get money from them. God said borrow money from them. Hatred and lies. Barbara, God said you got it. God said you got it, right? When I tell the Justice Department, God said you got to get money from your joke. Look at him. Look at him still talking. God said, look at him. Look at the hatred motherfucker, the black person. That's name and relevance. Look at this black. You're a joke, nigga. No, you have no job. And let me tell you something. I want to let you know something. Since that damn black ass mayor play with my intelligence in the state of Texas, play with my intelligence. After they told me about that phone call, tried to use my phone, you want me to get a job because you want control, nigga. I told you Yellow Breezy was going to get away. Let me tell you, after they used that phone call against me and tried to say, do believe Miss Nancy Pelosi after me and try to keep me in there asking me about my music money that I have not got, that they have taken from me. God saying, I ain't making no money. God saying, let me tell you something. I want to tell everybody that's on YouTube, every rapper around the world, every female rapper, I have connections on other platforms that I have not been really back communicating. And I just start back going on live. I mean, I've been on Poker Check. I have people on Instagram I've been talking to. People on different things that I've been talking to. You're a joke clown. You're a joke clown. You're a joke. You're a joke. Keep doing what you're doing, you dumb black motherfucker that using somebody else's name. You're a hatred. Somebody should put you in a body bag before you even know, dude. I don't know why you still sitting there as a black man. God said I should cut your tongue and hand it out to the gods. You a clown, nigga. Playing like to be like somebody. You a clown, nigga. God gonna find you one day. We're gonna let God fight all our battles. God gonna find you one day. And he gonna take your tongue out and hand it to the gods. and you're not gonna speak anymore. Yeah, we laughing at you too. I've been networked just like Dallas took me for granted. Just like Dallas, can you a fake? You fake. You're not even real, dude. Stop. Why I'm arguing with you? And this, I got more worried was I wouldn't even argue with this guy, Charlie, because I'm a big fan with him, and I wouldn't even argue with him the way you're black. And let's go to his profile. Let's go to this fake entertainer. Let's go to him. God said, let's go. We already verified this line. That I went. The video's not matching the art, the person, and he's fake. He not this person. Look at the black man. Look at the black man. I got too much respect for this person right here and the things he do. I would say, look at this black motherfucker that have hatred in his heart. That ain't who he say he are. And he trying to come up. And he talking to these ungrateful niggas. Selfish, great ass nigga. You ain't who you say you are, nigga. You ain't who you say you a clown, nigga. Using somebody. You no job. Hey, I got a job. Let me tell you what my job is. I work for God. That's my job. Working for God. That's my job. Working for God. Not working for Walmart. Walmart ain't God. I'm going to tell him. I'm going to actually tell him something. I'm going to tell the Justice Department what your dumb ass said. This YouTube blogger say, I have no job. But I'm going to respond to you in a way where hatred is not at. Where hatred is not at. My job is God. My job is God. My job is God and the things I stand for. You hear me? God gonna supply me more food than anything while you suffer. While your hatred consume you. God say sooner or later you not to have to want for nothing. You will have places to go where anybody at. Your home is everywhere. Let me tell you, when I was in Dallas County, a doctor asked me, came up asking me when he's asking me about how many people is your home. I should have asked him, told him all over. But I needed to know trust was broken by the state and it was broken by the mayor. And I didn't answer those questions when he asked me how many how many people in your family you got to support you. Everybody in America, everybody God family to support me. So I didn't want to tell him that because they had corruption going on in the mayor. And the mayor misconduct was going to stop me if I would have answered all those. And Senator Ted and them knows that. So I answered a little bit of question a little bit the wrong way at that time. They want to argue with us. That's why I didn't want to go back and forth. When I was in Dallas County in 2019 and last year, some people couldn't be reasonable. They like they fucking yellow breezy and they couldn't be reasonable with. Or you jealous of no stop. Give time 15. Yellow breezy, they say they're lying on you, right? So they say they're lying on you. The streets want to protect you and protect everything that you stand for, lying because your ego. You say no nigga can mess with you. God said I can mess with you. But you will not put my life in danger because other people are not meant to take a stand. God had had enough. Hey, you a clown. You a clown and you had no job. God has had enough. The job I work for God. The job I work for, God, you mad because you gonna suffer. I'm trying not to sow hatred, but you, God said, you making me say words. Your dumb, ugly ass that don't exist as a broadcaster. One thing, I'm from New Orleans and watch baller blocking. And one thing we have to know when Juvenile set with the bit curly head and he said, I'm gonna cut your wife and hand it to your partner. You know what Juvenile said? Then you gonna die. But God said, if you try me, you hateful motherfuckers, then you gonna die. God gonna let you fight my battles. Either you in jail or you gonna die. You a joke. I've been networking. Instead of talking, this clown that pretend I've been networking. I'm all over Chicago, New York on Big Live and Live Me. I have talked to everybody. We have talked. I have everybody from California told me, Hubert, I hope you make it. People from Big Live, Live Me, every broadcast. We laughing at you because my connection go deep from Live Me, Big Live, and all the rest of those accounts on different platforms. And I've been promoting my music. You're a joke. You're a joke. Buzzcast, Live Me, UP Live, on different apps. You're a joke. Look at this. Why am I arguing with you? And I can just do this. All right. Communication mode. And I can just do this to your dumb ass. Hold up. I'm not gonna block you. I'm gonna block you for you just let me tell you something. You just telling me I'm doing something right. When you say no job, when you say no job, when you say no job, you telling me I'm doing something right. I'm doing something right. I want to tell you something. When I was on another social media, I went DJing. When I was on another social media platform, and Yellow Breezy was sitting with that bitch, and Mo3 tried to tell him I was on another platform promoting, and now you want to give it attention. He said he didn't know who Obama is. If you don't know who Obama is, you don't know who God is. All of these presidents have done something in their time. And let me tell you, God said, we might can't change everything fast. But God said, you have to be willing to come together to change. When IQ say, no matter who's in office, it does not matter. But let me tell you something, Ice Cube. Society got to be willing to come together and change something on Twitter. See, I've been communicating with Ice Cube on Twitter. See, I came up with ideas from the NBA and the NFL and the Women's League on Twitter and the LSU volleyball team. They're going to be able to see all of those things. Let me tell you what I do know. Let me tell you what I do know, and I want you to know. When I was on Senator Ted website and Joe Biden on Facebook, I know the criticism was going to come loud and clear. I know when I talked about Social Security, I know what I had to face from racism democracy. So I went out there and put myself out there anyway. And we're going to talk about that when I was on Senator Ted Facebook. And I was talking about how we get treated bad when we come to y'all. And this lady say, if you don't like it, don't quit and get a job. Let me tell you something. You need to change. Don't talk about us abusing the system and where you don't change it. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how I was on Senator Ted. See, I know the criticism. I didn't get that much as feedback as I wanted on Senator Ted, Joe Biden page, on Twitter and all the other senators' page. I didn't get that feedback that much on Twitter as I wanted. But a little communication counted. And that what matters the most when I got that little communication from people on Twitter. That what matters the most. When I was going on, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. That what matters the most. Shaq can just come down here for no reason. The NBA, but like Magic Johnson, the Lakers sent to get Kobe, to get LeBron. But let me tell you, people have domination issues. And that can be the problem of what's going on here because Paul Wall say he the leader, right? And I'm not crossing that bone. And I'm not trying to say I'm better than Paul. Paul Wall is bigger than anything. But the still fact remains that I reach myself out there. He's basically saying he the GOAT and he and this and that. And I'm putting myself out there. Even though I'm not bigger than Paul Wall, even though I know I'm not bigger than him, and he's more famous, but I have put in work too. And I'm going to tell the Justice Department, I have put in work too. And it's not right for Yellow Breezy and Trap Boy Freddie them and Dallas and them to come up and lie about it. And footwork them and lie. God said, I don't need you as a community. And I surely don't need them. I said in church in the city, I don't have the money yet. I don't have $1,500 up front to go to Israel at church in the city. I don't have that at that month. After I read what I needed to read, it's $300 to $1,500. But that's okay. That's okay. God said we're gonna have to have a little delay to go and see my world. We're gonna have to have a little delay in that because we gotta get our passport. We gotta get all of these things taken care of. And the later one, we don't have the money. God said we ain't gonna worry about it. And I'm paying my own rent, okay? Clown, joke. You mad because you gonna suffer. You mad because you gotta get your dumb ass out there and work. Look, let me tell you, since that little motherfucker, I want to tell you some Dallas, Texas. Since the mayor and city hall and them in Texas general push me, and I hope he don't get back in his office because if he do, racism democracy is going to keep him in there. But I want to tell you something. I want to let you know something because I want you to know these things, and I want you to understand these things. All that behavior in Addison was being watched. I let the FBI know in the Justice Department. At the same time, I'm messaging them at the same time and giving them my account. Y'all been behaving since that courtroom community. I'm going to tell them what that lady said that security guard told me in Dallas County. You got them to turn on. God said, I didn't get nobody to turn on them or nothing. But you ain't knowledge. That's why you turned on yourself. Let's talk about what that security guard told me last year and in 2019. And when I was in jail. You got us to turn on each other. God said, I didn't get you to turn on a damn thing. Your knowledge made you turn on each other. Your control and want to listen to everybody else, and people don't want to go on their own way and be their own boss. They are scared of losing their throne. We're going to tell the Justice Department. People that have done me wrong, millionaires that will sit, other people that's been paid by the other people. You think I don't know when I look outside those mansions in Dallas County? God said, every time even when you pass by that, going to the Social Security in 2000 off of Nassau Highway, you passed over there and you seen mansion, you seen rich people. You see, I got a lot of blueprints. I promise people in Paris and London and Texas refuse to bid. And I'm gonna tell them, since Trump been watching me communicate with Paris and London about this project, God say, yes, I don't think Trump knows that I've been. Do Trump knows that I've been having intelligence? Because he talk about it. Did he know that I was always aware of him? God was aware of him. I was aware of you in Atlanta. God said, don't you know that I was always aware of everybody? But with me saying the thing, it came with terrorism. It came with people lying in the community. Those things come on. I want to let Trump know. I'm going to tell the Justice Department. Do Trump know that I was always open-minded and I caught on real quick when he was talking to him and CNN and them and everybody was talking? But it had people trying to stop me. BG said on so he ain't crazy. Go to CNN and then the rest of them. They want us to have sympathy for each other after they have hatred for us. And they play like they love us when their spirit is fake and want me to get back out there. Hey, I have a life. I have all of these things that you don't do. I can wait to go to church. I can wait to go to things and the rest of these things. I'm taking it upon myself to read books. And we're going to talk about, I got a Book Sonoma membership at that Walmart by Addison. And what the community was doing, scratching their head when they saw me picking up books. They problem are worsening in this community. I don't have time for you. You're stepping in my way. And millions of people are involved in this situation. Not just here. People in Paris and London is involved in this situation. And you ain't in my way. Dallas, you ain't God's way. And y'all want to be selfish and lie. Your racism and your lies is causing a problem. I know what I said in 2000. I wanted the Social Security to hear me. But God said, after all I said, he gave me a gift when I was in Dallas County. And I told the people after I got into an argument, and the person said, where was that when my son died? Where you was at? We got into an argument. And I went into that medical tank. And I said, God, 10 times, I won't deny you. I won't deny you. I won't deny you. I won't deny you. I put my hand over that cover. I had a dream that somebody, I didn't see the body, that somebody lifted the cover off and I was able to see that same person in that medical tank. I was able to see his spirit in ways. Let me tell you what happened in Browns and McDonald's. It was a racial setup. The reason why God said it, the reason why they dropped those charges, because I told the Justice Department that that girl gave me eye contact with racism. Let me tell you, God said, I don't have to be facing you to see when you're deceiving me. My eyes can be facing your back to see. Your spirit attention can give me all of these things. God said those charges are going to get dropped, and you are going to seek justice for those things. But the mayor doesn't want to pay. And God know that consequences from the mayor in the state of Texas, the mayor that don't want to pay. We know what's at stake here. For his men conduct the same racial thing. God said, don't you talk about me socializing. People that keep going out. One of the CNNs said, you decided, my act decided to bend together. You see, I know my purpose when I was in Atlanta, sitting in that Atlanta jail. I know I would have to deal with every last one of you senators when Social Security treated me wrong. You see, my eye was on you when Victor Cruz was looking at me from the jailhouse, and he was looking at me, him and everybody, the ones from the jailhouse. They don't even know that I was watching them look at me in the warrants and the rest of them, the people that own the jailhouse, the warrant. He don't even know that my eyes was on him when he came down looking at me. My eyes was on you. But let me tell you something. Since I know you had to be dealt with Social Security in a way that it came with me getting incarcerated about your behavior. Since I know that people in Atlanta is working on my case, every Atlanta senator, I have a caseworker. Since I know these things now, and I told Senator Harris, when you find out the good people I talk to, reward them. Reward them. Thank them. When you find out the good people I talk to, reward them. Reward them with grace. Reward them whatever. I told Senator, when you find out the good people I talked to on Senate, and I told Joe Biden, God said, please give them a bonus. Each government worker will have a bonus card. And you will have that money to yourself when you get your bonus. It's gonna be a $500 bonus call center. That's why I don't want it to change. That's why I don't want them to change up their offer because to change their answer machine because I want every government worker to have a bonus card. And this is what customer service play into review. I want them to have it. The good people that I talk to, I'm gonna get your name. And then I expect a reward to give you a reward. Don't be like them. When I'm gonna talk about was in Addison, and the 4th of July when I was in Addison, and this guy gonna talk about the government is not a business, it's not a job. Yeah, it's a job. When I sat up there in front of those customers in Dallas, Texas, in Social Security, one person wanted to be a Social Security caseworker. She was there for somebody else, but she wanted to be a caseworker. She wanted the guy, you know what, the good people I talked to after that lady treated me right at the call. So you know what she said to me? I told her, you deserve to be rewarded for listening to me. You know what she said? We're going to tell him. You know what she told me? She said, Hubert, we did no thing. We just do it for y'all. We want to see y'all to help y'all out. But some people in that call center does not see that. Does not see that issue when they laughed and hung up and didn't want to help. You know when I made my complaint against my local office being neglected and being abused? You know what that lady says, sue us F who you want. I hope you like my actions. I hope the call center like my actions. I hope that same lady at that call center like my action that didn't want to look at the camera. It's not like that when I was getting treated bad at my local office and that security guard posted up on the wall and told me that the guy would treat me bad. And when I caught him out the spirit, God said, I caught your spirit. And I asked the Justice Department when Miss Lee was looking down on me, her spirit was looking down on me. When I had my eye, you think I didn't see it just because I had my eyes down? You see, God said, when it comes to opening up the spirit, people might think I'm judging them like I was in church in the city when I had that thing, but your spirit is more. God didn't, when God saw all of these things out of you, he didn't judge you, even though you had these bad intentions. The main thing I have to stop, because I can see every kid's spirit. And when I'm in that church, And it can become really deadly for me, church in the city. And not in a bad way. But sometimes I close my eyes when the spirit of everybody around me is being seen at the same time. God said, God said, I sit 1,000 feet away from my gates. I got an angel on the left and I got an angel on the right. I was able to talk to church in the city about it. I was able to put them in church in the city. I was able to got in that little room. I got an angel on the left and I got an angel on the right. I'm 1,000 feet away from my gates. Jesus in the mirror, I'm on the left. I see out of my angel's eyes. I see out of you. I see out of my disciples. But God knew one thing. He know fear. I'm going to tell you what's the difference from my heaven and the difference from now. My heavens do not have fear. That's the difference from here. Can you stand up with me even when other people put fear in you to not make you believe in me? Because my heavens don't have fear. They talk about spiritual wrong. And God said, let me tell you something. I need something I can touch. God already got your former body waiting on you. Your evolved body, what you got here, it ain't nothing. But God already got your evolved body here. It's up to you if you want to stay here and be in another body. But with some people, what do you want to do? I am happy to be a man. I am happy that I'm a man. I'm happy for all of the parts that God has given me. I am happy to just be human. I wouldn't want to change myself in any way. God said, even when you think you turned off from a woman, God said, I want you to be more turned on. God said, I want you to do more stuff to turn you on. More stuff. God said, win with that. Win with those buttons. Win with those things that you talk about. Win with all of these things you talk about. You women just want to push your ass up in a position. I need you to talk a little dirty to me. I'm sorry, guys. I had an experience not too long ago when I was at somebody's house. I feel like as a man, I feel like as a man when I'm in the bedroom with my woman or a woman, any woman, if it's not a relationship, she gonna have to just talk a little bit, assertive to me a little bit, to push those buttons a little more big to me. Because God said we meant to push those buttons. We meant to take those lights, them higher lights. So I had an experience not too long ago on one of the old friend. I'm not gonna say, and I went to South Dallas. Baby, you just not gonna post up in a damn position. You gonna have to say a little more things to me to get me more of my attention. Let's climb those heights. Let's say, look, and I'm like, hold up. And she said, Samantha said, you can't even get me horny. I said, you gonna have to say something. Just don't push your ass up in a position and you expect, baby, you're gonna have to push it more. You're gonna have to push it more into that position. You're gonna have to push it more. Push it to the limit more. Hey, one person said on UP Live, said on Live, and I'm listening to what makes you hungry, what makes you all of that. When I go more harder, I get more bigger. When I go more harder, when I'm pushed, I sweat more different. I go the distance more. We ain't with all of that. And this girl said, Samantha said, it's just not about just kidding. Because she was talking about leaving me out there on the road, and I said, hold up for a second. Hold up for a second in Dallas. And I'm like, hold up. I really don't have a problem with you. I really don't have a problem with you. I could have really got out the car and called the Uber on the road. She wouldn't have actually left me out on the street. 7 or 8 or 9 times. She would have just left me out on the street. I have always been pushed to my limits. If that was in the bedroom, at that in school at Newman Smith, if that whatever that is, we ain't quitting here. I've always been pushed to my limits. If that was in Newman Smith School, I've come to learning, and that ain't nothing. I have always been pushed to my limits. In the New Orleans school and Texas school, baby, you ain't saying nothing. Just don't push your ass up in a position, expect me to just put it in. Y'all, I see y'all. I'm sorry, man, to talk about my life like that. Baby, you have to make it more interesting. I told her, can you make it a little more interesting? I want to tell, can you make it a little more interesting to me? The woman thinks she did this, bend over in front of man, talking about how you want it. Did you gonna have to give it to me in a different way? You want to show me. I feel like I told everybody I feel like fucking stop it. Like I had to deal with Sharon, act like a motherfucking woman. I always been a boss. You ain't gonna stop me from doing what I do. But one thing I'm not gonna allow this world and this system to make me a victim of racism and feel like I need to fall because I want more growth. So I'm gonna tell the Justice Department, I'm not gonna let the state of Texas or each place in America to make me fall like I gotta be a victim of losing a job, a victim of society, because I want growth and I want to grow more. God said, I owe you nothing. I owe you nothing. I owe you nothing in those perna bins. I owe you nothing. I owe you nothing to those things or what you don't want to change about your society. And let me tell you what Charles thought. Charles thought he can neglect me, and I have two ways out of this situation. And he got mad when I had a second child. Now talk about that. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about when I got worked at 1216 and the words that was coming out of that. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about racism and what I had to deal with in society. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how the way that Charles was teaching me. We can have 5 people on the left, 5 people on the right. And I'm at the end of the table. He's looking at me racism. What do I know when that corporate office was smiling at me in my face? You must have been doing the same thing when you came there. Let's talk about it. Because I'm going to tell the Justice Department society of racism against God's children who want me to be a victim. And I'm going to tell her, I remember getting mad at Ms. Lee, they teaming up on me. But you know what I got mad at her about when I sat there and the other side when I first met her? You know what I got mad at Ms. Lee in Dallas about? I ain't no lazy person, and I'm not going to let nobody stop me from learning and grow. And if you can't understand me, you don't deserve to be my caseworker. None of you don't deserve it. And I'm going to tell the Justice Department, none of them in Dallas deserve to be in my caseworker if they can't understand what God's children want. And I'm going to tell the Justice Department, if you can't understand me, you don't deserve to be my caseworker. I can be my own damn caseworker. I can handle my own damn files. I can talk to you my own damn files and report my own damn files. If you can't understand me. I got so mad at Miss Lee. I was like, hold on, well, you got me messed up. When I sat there and I said, you got me all the way messed up. They got racism going on in this business and I won't grow. And I said in my mind at that time when my girlfriend in that old relationship told me to chill. And I said in that mind, I was like, hold on, you got me all the way messed up when I won't grow in a bitch. We're going to talk about when one of the night managers denied me of growth. It's your fault the way I missed those days. Because if you would have been treating me right at 1216, I would have been there every motherfucking day like I was at 2996. If you would have been treating me right. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about those things with the Justice Department when they didn't want to advance me. We're going to talk about those things with Doug Miller and the CEO. If you would have been treating me right, I would have been there every day. I wouldn't have had 2 jobs. But I know you. I know you. God know who you are. God know what you stand for. God said, I know the fight was going to be hard. And I know senators and them was watching me, and other people in power was watching me when I was working at Walmart. I know these things was going to be much more harder than anything, but goddamn. Let me tell you, God said that person in that wheelchair that can't speak, they see your spirit. They see when you judging them. They can't speak. But God said, I gave them the gift even when they're in their wheelchair and they can't do the things that they do and their mama feeding them. They see your spirit. They're happy. They smile. When Nelly hugged the fan, a disability fan. When Nelly hugged the disability fan at that racetrack. When that kid got happy that Nelly hugged them. That fan that was in that wheelchair know that Nelly wasn't judging him. They are able to see the spirit. I'm gonna tell you at Newman Smith High School in Carrollton, Texas. It had my friend. She is blind, my classmate. And she was on the news. She only had 2, 3 years to life. When Miss Chastity didn't used to work with me, I used to watch. She was blind, and the way she communicate with bubbles, the letters or the bubbles on the letters, she could just speak. And she was on Dallas News in Carrollton. She was on the news, and she used to just speak. And every time my teacher got her hand, she said out loud. And her and the bubble is on the letters are every round. Every letter is rounded. The way I seen my teacher, Miss Chastity, Miss Lennon, everybody else work, not just work with me, not just work with me, work with everybody else and I observe those things. And those was the biggest thing with that situation. I remember Miss Chastity told me I know this guy named Dolores. I used to talk, and I remember Miss Chastity told me one time, Dolores used to think fine of you and used to like you when y'all used together. But when she started hearing all these things about you, she started, God said, hold up, those are just rumors. But I remember my first year at Newman Smith in Carrollton, Texas. And I remember getting an evaluation that what I'm more good at with my hands, right? And then we talked about what was going on in the world, right? Then the Newman Smith teacher got mad and said, I can't control, but I might can't control what goes in the world, but I can control. Then they asked him, do you believe that you belong to be with somebody? All of these things were getting asked me. Let me tell you, people wanted to live in the moment. I wanted to plan. We didn't have the same goals. We wasn't on those same mission. We didn't have Sabina know what I was about. Cheyenne and them and all the rest of them know that I was about business and I was about growth. Mirza, everybody know Raphael and them and know in Carrollton, Texas, I was about business and I was about growth. In Carrollton, Texas, you think that's going to stop me now? Because you ain't willing to go the distance, you ain't willing to push yourself. You think you're going to stop me now, Carol? All of y'all. I went to Newman Smith School dances. I went to regular parties. My brother, my cousin Big Nick, and Kool-Aid, and the rest of them that I played on a football team the first year, and my brother was like, his coach was like, let me train. Let me show him the ropes. My brother was out to show me how to tackle a quarterback on the field. Big Nick, my brother was out to show me how to tackle the quarterback, how to do all of these things at Newman Smith High School in Carrollton, Texas. And the coach was like, let me show him the way. Big Nick and everybody in that thing was Big Nick was bad. Big Nick was already on that doing things with John B and the rest of them on the football team with Kool-Aid. And that's back in the day we go to the movies on Wild Chapel and I see Kool-Aid, what's up? Everybody in Carrollton, Texas. Wild Chapel movie. And then I go in there, people started throwing popcorn at me and shit. The shit was getting ridiculous. What type of motherfucker throw popcorn at a motherfucker? And that was that movie. I was with my baby mama at the time. And this guy, this horse moving, this country singer actor goes in there and he's get drunk and he abandoned the wedding and he's go chase his dream. And he found out a couple of years later his dad tried to come up there and tell him. This guy played. I think this guy played on anger. Played on Brothers, Step Brothers, and all the rest of those things. I tried to come up there. I think that was him. And it's a country movie with this singer. It had it in Whitechapel, and we went see this movie. I have always did something in the front, but let me tell you, people not gonna always want to be on my side because of when Carrie them decided to turn on me in character because they wanted to jack cars and I wanted to do something different. And I'm not disrespecting Carrie and Carrollton, Texas. He used to take me around cars and Carrie in Carrollton, Texas. He used to wire cars and we used to drive in cars together while he wired cars and he put the thing in the ignition. I was a little more different from everybody. I was a little more different from everybody. Those things that we was with, it was a little more different from everybody. This lady in one apartment, I forgot the name of the apartment, is over there by Morris Lane under the bridge, by Rich Trent. She got mad because she talked about user. I don't get along with everybody. I get along. We get along with everybody. I move different from everybody. I move different from everybody. We don't think the same. When I was in Dallas County, and we're gonna talk about that, and with the Justice Department, and a person from New Orleans said, and the judge, I tried to get stripes from him, and he tried to say I'm not from there because we got two different personalities, because we were raised in different hoods. My mama told me how to move different from you. What's the with that situation and why you say I'm not from there? I'm from there. I'm from the West Bank of New Orleans. Oh, you can't take it. Yes, I can take criticism. But when people believe what you're saying and you're able to draw a crowd, and that's let me tell you what that dude in Judge Kennedy program did when he called me a liar and he called me a fake and a phony. He's gone on the Texas Music Office to see it himself. He don't want y'all to have it. And Judge Kennedy program, he don't want y'all to know that this guy get out back to doing right and getting a job, and you go to the Texas Music Office, you get a contract, you get grants, and you get all of the rest of these things. He don't want that. So he tried to start trouble, and everybody's sitting at the phone listening to him and trying to start trouble. And it's confusion. They gonna talk to other people. He gonna talk. Let me tell you, people will play mind games with you because they don't want you to be successful too. And that what was going on in Judge Kennedy program. The confusion would start when I was telling them, even when you're on the phone with them, checking, you telling their sister to check up there and do these things to check. That other man don't want other people to be successful, but he play like it because he want to be the dominator. He want to show that ruthless behavior. I say you have no idea what the situation that's going on here with Yellow Breeze and them. You have no idea what this situation going on with Trap Boy Freddy and the rest of them in Carrollton. You have no idea this situation was going on and the games, the little dirty little lying games that they playing in the center. I'm gonna tell you why they don't want to let me go. They know. Let's talk about it. I'm gonna tell the Justice Department. I know why you don't want to let it go. That's not what it seems. Because they know Yellow Breeze and them lied. And they didn't know, and they know that I know. And they know that I know. You are talking about things, Governor Abbott, you are talking about things that don't concern you. I told him that, I told that lawyer when I told him I know what's going on. That state attorney, don't you play me, and I know what's going on. And then when I caught on, he started to talk about his tax dollars. And that what made it more interesting to me, what I read in that mall. When my mama tried to move to a different county, and he talked about his tax dollars, and that really caught on. And that what made me and him not to get along with it. I'm gonna tell the Justice Department, that first state attorney lawyer. He talked about his tax dollars. Then he rolled his eyes when I talked about the mayor. That's when I know you wasn't with me, when I saw your spirit move, your facial expression move in the state attorneys. We're gonna talk about those things. God said Yellow Breezy took something and he lied about it. Y'all made that decision to get MO3 when he said he was a liar and a criminal. Go to that song Inbox when he said I'm imitating. See my work on TikTok. The Yellow Breezy, I'm doing this for MO3. You hear me? I'm doing this to shut that dumb motherfucker up that ignored MO3 and called him a liar. This got something to do. I want y'all to stay out of it. When I came back from Atlanta, y'all wasn't on nothing. Y'all on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm on different platforms. I started communicating with y'all and started talking to y'all. And then God said, you want to betray me? Some people I talked to, some people I did that didn't. How those people in that mall that rolled their eyes at me? God said, even when nobody, we still have a case to convict. God told me to tell me to tell the Justice Department, because every kid is going to be convicted. Every person that was at that mall, at that Galleria Mall in Dallas in 2019, with all that buffooning and that lie going on, we still have a reason to convict. God said you're going to look at the cameras when people rolled their eyes at me and caught an attitude. Some people had the good spirit in them. Other people that told me you're going to look at the camera when I try to interact with them and they jealousy on their phone telling me that don't work. God said this is over. I have so much to do or you in my way. And other people's selfish behavior will cause it. That accident didn't happen by accident. Her spirit, her spirit was caught. She couldn't even look at me. I seen her spirit when she came. And I'm going to tell her that accident that happened, it was planned. Her spirit was not acting on. She couldn't even look at me. Her spirit wasn't normal. She driving ahead, and I see the jealousy and evil in her spirit. And God said, you was not normal. You planned that. And I caught on to you before the accident even happened. Your spirit was caught before the accident didn't even happen. You think it's really slow? When I saw jealousy in your spirit, you think you really slow when I saw your spirit acting up in that car. At the Wallet downtown station. You think you really slick? God said, you planned that. I was comfortable with the other lady, but your spirit caught on to you before you even know it. When you were just going across, I saw jealousy in your spirit. I saw jealousy. You wasn't trying to stop. So when I'm gonna tell her, Justin, I forgot to write that. That accident, I saw jealousy in her spirit, and she driving up on it. Your spirit was being caught before you even know it. So when I messaged the Justice Department about that car wreck in Raleigh, her spirit of jealousy was caught. The insecurity in them of the spirit was caught. Now, I didn't ask for all of this. These problems did not have to be given on me, guys. At the Social Security would have listened, this would not have to be taken that far. They decided to turn and treat us bad. But God said, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna make sure it be the last person y'all treat wrong with a disability, treat wrong in a government building. I'm gonna make sure this is the last. God said, we gotta make sure this is the last people that you neglect and treat bad wrong. Now, it's not going to be that hard for me to file a complaint against the Atlanta Clinton County behind that preacher calling me a liar about my faith. So it won't be that hard since they know I was in there. So, and he was telling me, and it won't be that hard to get what I deserve. And God said he questioned me. He questioned me. He questioned everything about me. And I sit up there and froze in that moment. I sit up there and went to my cell and I covered up and I said, God, and I said, God, let's talk. Let's have a conversation after that preacher in Clinton County did what he did. Let's have that conversation. Let's have that conversation after he did what he did. Let's have that conversation. I sat up there and I froze for a second. And I bubbled up and I said, God, talk to me. God talking to me. This man calling me a liar about you. He said that's lying. He calling me a liar. God said, talk to me. Talk to me when that preacher calling me a liar. When he calling me a liar about you. God said, I am in the spirit of people. I am in the spirit of my enemy. So what we're about to do, we're about to sue that Clinton County, Atlanta. It won't be that Clinton County, Atlanta preacher for calling me a liar about my belief, for abuse of power. I want them to look at him when I'm sitting down, looking at him right in his eyes. I want Atlanta to look at me. I want him to look at me. I want them to look at that camera and look at him right in his eyes when I message the Justice Department. And God said, I want you to sue that man for telling me about my belief and calling me a liar. And sue the Clinton County, Atlanta, because God said they can take progress to get the one man. And we don't have time for it. This can take progress to get to one man. And one man should be, when one man words should affect others in that courtroom, that whole system. So God be with me and God be with our nations. Or what we are about to do and what the actions of our enemy have done. The action of them or what they have done. So when I file a civil suit on Atlanta, Clinton County, and that preacher that called me a liar, and they're going to look right at that front seat. God said, you want to look right at that front seat. God said, you want to look at right at that front seat. You want to look right at that front seat. When he looked at me in the eyes and he called me a liar about my God, called me a liar about my Jesus, about my heavens. He gave me eye contact. And this racist white man decided to confront the issue. We are not the same when we question each other about, yes, you have different Bibles, but God sent people on different times to do different things, different stories, for they can let you know that I am there. God said, I tell your loved ones that I'm sleeping in my heavens, but they don't know that my spirit can leave anytime. And I'm into the heart that is pure. Your loved ones in their body, they just watch you. God said, I want something I can touch. God said, I ain't trying to control you. And you think I'm controlling you in my heavens? When your loved ones in their body, you think I'm controlling you? But one thing I will not allow, I will not allow jealousy and lies. And Dallas is giving that energy. Yellow Breezy and them is giving that energy. God say, one thing I will not allow, jealousy and lie and manipulation to get in those format. Thank you. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. I started giving them my ideas. I started talking about it. God can see your spirit. But God is only here for a moment. A character police said that spirit in your energy is not your own. You don't think when God sent his angels down here in the past, he had half and half. If we make an angel today, half angel and half God, Jesus Christ and God. God said, I see who we with. I say, if I see you who you with, and you're going to have those things, but you must take care of that kids when I give you a gift. You must take care of those things. Because it takes a strong man to do what needs to be done. You know, when I was in Clinton County, we're going to talk about those things. People started to talk about when women wanted to have babies and they wanted to abuse them and have babies and leave. Me understanding people in Clinton County and we conversating, But let me tell you something. That black person that set up there in Clay County Jail, and we at the same jail in Atlanta, and I'm sitting in the bottom thing, and this guy say this kid that they came and beat up. He said they trying to make him famous. I ought to kill his nigga. How a black person that never met me have so much hatred? Have so much hatred that never met me, that sat on that top bunk, that never met me, that on the top of that cell in Clinton County, after they came in that fight, that never met me, have that much hate. I'm like, God, that never met me. And right now, bullet there, you never met me. You just going off of what Yellow Pussy telling you. You willing to ruin another good relationship because one person, to stop the bond from one person? Bullet there. That's his name, Bullet there. What Boosie? Boosie throw the punchline. God said, you want to play? We can play that too. Let me tell you, God said, honesty is not being given on the table. You want to make other people life miserable and expect people to think we jealous. God said, I'm not jealous of you, Boosie. God not even jealous of you. God got more food than you. God got more things than you. God said, down here in America, your food is this. But down here, my food is different. You ever watch Peter Pan? You ever watch Captain Hook, the guy that played off for Mrs. That played off of Mrs. Doubtfire? He didn't have food. And so you're doing it. You're doing it, Peter. You're doing it, Peter. You're doing it. Even though didn't have food in there. You're doing it, Peter. You're doing it. I'm a Peter Pan fan. And I'm so mad that the guy that played in Jumanji died. He died. He will be missed because he's an actor. He has done so much. Not just he played the role as Mrs. Darkfire, and the role that he played was amazing. And he's as an actor when he played as a radio station host in the army. He played as a autistic kid. He played in so many avenues that as an actor, and I'm watching this comedy thing with him. He's on, and people wanting to buy us one. He has done so much for us. I don't hear MTV rewarding them. I don't hear all of them rewarding him for what he have did. I don't hear the movie awards rewarding this actor and giving this to his family. For he done as an actor, he played in. He have done so much, and he passed away. Yes, I liked him. I liked him in everything that he played. The Jumanji was the best. Jumanji was the funniest one in those things. Jumanji was the funniest things in those things. Yes. Then the black actor that played in them. But I want to tell you, in Peter Pan, when he started believing, God said, I want you to believe again. You're doing it, Peter Pan. Have that same mindset. We can get back to what we doing. Yes, we still gotta handle business. Everybody think the president don't have fun. You think the president don't have fun? Him and Joe Biden don't sit. Everybody think they gotta be serious. Yeah, they gotta be serious. But you think Joe Biden don't sit back? Y'all really think these presidents don't know how to have fun? Sit back and watch a movie a couple of times. We want to ask Joe Biden. I'm gonna send a message to Joe Biden. Ask Joe Biden what's his favorite movie, and ask Obama and Trump what's your favorite. Ask every president what is your favorite movie. What do you watch, Joe Biden? I want to ask that question. Senator Harris, what's your favorite? When I'm gonna reach out to the Justice Department, and I say I want a response for Senator Harris and Obama now. Senator Harris now. What is your favorite? Yeah, I want to know. No, let me tell you something. When Joe Biden, the thing with Trump, everybody get mad at Trump for building those borders. But other point of views are different when the election. You got to know politics and you got to know business. And when we are talking to people and might understand those things in a mighty way, some American people might understand Joe Biden a lot more. Some of the people might understand Senator Harris a lot more. And it's something that we can get on the same page. And that's why they created election for. Because without election, without numbers, it would be disconfusion. Imagine a fight. Look at the facts that you took the different point of views we do. Look at things we getting into, the fights we having, and where the enemy is watching us fight amongst each other instead of supporting each other and loving each other. One guy said on YouTube, all that good won't be good for society. The numbers can be greater, and they lost because everybody came up together with the point of views numbers. So we have to understand this when we're talking about election and we talk about politics and we talk about those things that can be in a much deeper. I'm doing good. That can be in a much deeper realm. Before Joe Biden got in, Obama and them got in the office, they was doing something. I want to know what's Joe Biden's favorite movie. I want to know what's Senator Michelle Obama's favorite movie. Y'all ask Obama this and ask Michelle Obama this. What is their favorite movie? I'm doing how your day? It's going good. How are you? What is your favorite? Let me tell you something. When I'm in my phone, the same people that did me wrong in Dallas, they want me to be alone. They want me to be alone. They want me not to have nobody. That part of society that want control and wants control, they want us to be alone. When I'm in my phone and I see other people that just sit up with their Bible, they 40 years old, and most of them alone, and I hear them in character and they say, love yourself. I'm not going to make sure you think I'm alone. I'm not going to let you think that. I'm going to connect with other people. Just because the way you act and the way you're doing things, I'm not going to make sure that I'm alone. But it's too much of control, too much of people are not getting the information right. Too many people, I meant to tell this kid in there that when I was praying, we would meet each other on the jet because I wanted to tell him something because the differences. I was telling him about the blueprint. I was telling him about the text, but the differences was the problem. The point of views, the knowledge of people just want to manipulate. They got royalties. It talks about UFT royalty. When I got my food stamp letter, it talks about royalty. Go listen to P. Diddy press play. People want to sue me for money that I ain't got. Even as the people threaten to sue me in church in the city. How can you sue me and you're not trying to understand me? Or I'm not lying. This guy that he said you lie. How can I lie? And we're gonna let the Justice Department figure that out. Because I know the street's gonna continue to listen to them because they want to be the manipulator. They want to be the man. Yellow Breeze in Dallas, Texas, you gonna answer the guard, boy. You gonna answer the guard, boy. There's too much manipulation going on in the streets. There's too much manipulation going on in the streets. And that's why when I tried to talk to them, they couldn't be talked to in Dallas County. There's too much manipulation going. What up, guys? I'm on my other chat right now. We still talking to DJ Envy. We still having these conversations. I'm on and making a thing for DJ Envy. Tell everybody to go to DJ Envy Breakfast Club YouTube. And I want God want DJ Envy to hear him out. Even though the community lied, God said, I want DJ. God said, to please get this message out to DJ Envy. Even though I've been promoting on different apps and I just not getting on YouTube and doing this, I don't depend on YouTube. Even though I have to do it, I can't depend on those things. I can't depend on YouTube and those things. I'm waiting for my thing to come back up so we can just get into this conversation more. Everybody called me lies. This person on YouTube, guys, I want you to see this guy right here before we start talking. Because I showed my other platform. He called me lies. The streets just want to manipulate the lies so they can come up. Yellow Breeze and them and all the rest of them just want to lie. But when you have to answer the guard, it's a different story. I want you to allow you to lie your way out of this situation. I have asked everybody to be in that mall. I have asked everybody that was at that hotel. Any person that looked at me, catch on to the spirit facial expression when they rolled their eyes at me, when their kids was telling me that they don't work. Everybody else in that Dallas Galleria Mall, in that Willabin, I didn't have no problems in Willabin Mall. The energy was great at Willabin Plano Mall. It was really great. It had a little attitudes there. They said, Texas already got money. What will you do with our? They had a little attitude there at the Willabin Plano Mall. But I understand the way we can make every kid dream come true in this thing, in this format. When you have kids, It's nothing but manipulation going on in these streets and lies. For that always yellow breeze and them can be successful more. But the truth is not being told. And I wanted the Justice Department, and that's why I reached out because the mayor and his manipulated, even though they know it already, even though they was watching me with CNN and Capitol Hill, the mayor wanted to abuse his power. They wanted to stand by the mayor's side and city hall. This is about tax dollars. This is not about honesty. God said you should have understood me when I said on my social media, we only go to war when we should. But the Justice Department and the prosecutor wanted to push this on more. You know, one of the state attorneys, before I met him, before we got into an argument, one of the things I caught on to that conversation in Dallas County, he's sitting with this girl. And I listened to him. I want you to understand, I heard every word he said. I listened to him, I understand it, but he wasn't trying to understand me. And that's where the confusion was. And he said to this other girl, the charges get dropped and nobody else get justice for it, and you let them go. And I know that moment, and I'm gonna tell the justice, that moment I had to reach out. That moment with me and this girl, he sat by this girl and the dude, and we connected, and I'm listening to what this attorney have to say. And I'm listening to him, the state attorney, my first state attorney in there, Doug Schittemeyer. And I'm listening to Doug Schittemeyer, and he talking to this girl that's also a client. And I'm going to tell him, I listened to his word. But one of the words that he told me, Doug Schittemeyer, I listened to you, but you wasn't trying to understand me, Doug Schittemeyer. And one of the things I heard him say, he said, other people, when you drop the charges, other people get to let go and they get no justice from those things. And by me listening to him, my action have to mean something. I've been know what I needed to do, but me listening to him more, that this made it more powerful for me. By listening to Doug Schittemeyer, it made it more powerful for me to just hear the words that come out of his mouth. That made it more powerful for me to understand when wrong has been done to me by the community and by the rap community and the rest of those, that terrorism. You must didn't physical punch me on those cars, but you intimidated with terrorism intent, with gang member affiliated, and all the rest of those, that hatred. You scared of your little brother. You stupid and you retarded in those cars. What words that was said in those cars, and the DA don't know nothing. The Carrollton police officers, they so busy sitting by and doing all. I don't want you to change your mind about me, state of Texas, because God said you sit and never judge, and you don't know the full. God told me to tell you. I'm gonna tell the state of Texas. I'm gonna tell every Texas legislator and the Justice Department. God said I don't need your validation. I don't need your validation. But it's too much of manipulation going on. I'm hearing 5 or 6, 7 different stories. And people in Dallas trying to tell me this not the way that happened, this not the way that happened. Hold up, Yellow Breezy came up off of lies. And you didn't want to hear me out? So you forced me to do this, Dallas County. Everybody that wanted to suck Yellow Breezy dick, you forced me to take it above myself. But one thing we're going to talk about, when a government worker have done wrong and the mayor have done wrong, you're gonna unlock those calls from Washington, the White House. One thing I recognized Washington White House number when I was in there, and you did not want to, you had it blocked. And God said, it's time for a stop. It's time for a stop. You hear me? You local governments that want to abuse your power. You state of Texas number. God said, it's time for a stop. My wrong has been done. The mayor and city hall and them done me wrong. And I want those numbers blocked. Because at any time, police officers and mayors can abuse their power. And we should have a right to reach out. When I was in Dallas County, and I told them, I threatened to write the president, and the security guard threatened to tell my letter about their behavior. I meant what I told that security guards. And Dad, how you like it that your mayor have done me wrong? How you like your mayor that you stand by is a liar? How you like those things? City hall member is a liar. How do you like those things? I meant what I told those security guards. I'm gonna tell the Justice Department what I told them when I was in that job. How you like it? And God told me to tell them, how you like it that your mayor is a liar? Get those assistant calls. Get that assistant call. FBI, get that assistant call. Get the call from the mayor assistant. I found out about the business 2 or 3 days, but I needed more time. I'm glad that I didn't call because the mayor put me in a tough situation. You get $3,500 for each of your songs that you promote, and I know what commas look like, motherfucker. You got Ticketmaster, you got all the rest of this plays in a part of it. All of this plays in a part of what's going on. Listen to what the senator said. We're gonna start charging Ticketmasters. I want you to listen to things and all of this go up and penalizing bail bondsmen going up. Listen to these things, because some of these things are what I read in the book is going to be able to identify what I'm talking about. And people want to look at me and do these things. All right, I can forgive, but God said my child need a foundation first to understand those goals. No, the DA didn't offer me nothing. I told people, no, the DA didn't offer me nothing. And people was getting mad calling me a liar. I say the DA didn't offer me nothing. But they had something from the IPS to do a little fucking trickery. And he tried to offer. No, the DA didn't offer me. I'm not going to lie on the prosecutors like that. They didn't offer me no deal, no. And then he sent me, I'm going to tell him about that bell, sent me by the bells by me and tried to scare me. He just don't know that I know. The thing is, who was that IPS worker on that phone call talking to when he decided to tell me we got one of his family members right there? Got one of their family members right there. Who he was on that phone talking to? That's the only thing we need to know. That IPS worker, who was on that phone that he was talking to that was so important? that he had to say the words towards me. And Judge Kennedy courtroom. You know, I'm gonna tell you when they found out who I was, I had him in a room saying with a bitch. Oh, Yellow Breezy, I've been watching you for a long time, boy. But they're trying to fight for something that is not theirs. Oak Cliff and Dallas and them trying to fight for something. God said, you're trying to fight for something that is not yours, that is already mine. Go listen to the song called All Day by Kanye West. We gonna add up. Why you think the attorney general? Let's listen to it. I call Rockefeller. I call New York Network. I didn't just call the Breakfast Club. I still got the Network California numbers. I still got those numbers that New York gave me. I talked to iHeartRadio. I talked to everybody. Even though I messaged them last year about the situation, year before last. But Trump never was watching me while I called. Why had a sense for all of that? Go listen to the All Day song. Let me tell you how they want to lie. I was dating this girl at McDonald's. At Wendy's over there in Carrollton, Texas. Let me catch. I want you to catch Yellow Breezy in their lie and Dallas, Texas in their lies. Racism and lie. I want you to listen to the song. I want y'all to catch them in their lies. I want everybody to listen. I got called Rockefeller. He tried to lie. We're gonna listen to it. Yeah, how you doing? I was in the mall. I was in the gallery. I was at the library. I was doing it. Yellow Breezy, God said you gonna pay me all of me, man. All of what you took. And they didn't say my name. They throw punchline. People so caught up with names that is I'm going Atlanta, you need to call DJ. When I was doing it on social media, I said, "Where's that Washington State? What is it that's so good?" I'm a Jersey man. I'm a John. Let me tell you what the community do. You can get two toes away, two birds with the tip of the trap boy put it in the line with the rest of it. He used me to come up. God said, me. I want what y'all took from me. Tell God I love him. I'd rather be part of Revelation than part of Rock City. I'd rather be part of Revelation than part of this. God said, I'd rather be part of Revelation than be part of that city. I'm gonna tell you, sometimes go listen to the song. Go listen to the song. Go listen to it. Pay attention to people in Carrollton, Texas. Pay attention to the past events. Yeah, pay attention to past events in Dallas and Carrollton. Why you don't want to pay attention to the past events? I'm not talking to you, bro. Go to sleep. I'm gonna be quiet. Pay attention to the past events in Dallas and Carrollton. Pay attention to those things. You talking in his sleep. I didn't realize that boy talking in his sleep. Um, Pay attention to the past events. And I just think when I was in Dallas, when I was in the courtroom, when Doug Schittermeyer was my attorney, I heard him out and some of the things that I didn't agree on because I know I'm innocent and I'm fighting for justice. So when he said something, and I want to tell the Justice Department, when he said me and that girl was sitting down, I didn't like it because they told me this girl been in the program 10, 11 years. And that was not going to be like that with me. And I have other things to do. That was not going to be like that with me in that format. I was not going to do that in that format. God said, I know my enemy on here and they watching. I know my enemy on here watching. You don't even know what God's like. One nigga that send the drone. So God said, everything that I'm telling you is true. And y'all go listen to that song called. Now I've been talking to people on live. Yellow Breezer said nobody else. He don't even know he's on Instagram and all the rest of these things. I have been everywhere, guys. And you know, it's sad when we dealing with bullshit in Dallas, Texas. And people want me to get out there in the community and y'all listening to Yellow Breezer and y'all been manipulated and lied to. Trap Boy Freddie. And God said, my numbers are greater than your numbers. I'm bigger than your numbers. God said, my word is power than your numbers. And I'm going to tell the Justice Department, I listen to Doug Shedemaya. Some things I liked and some things I didn't agree on. And some things I didn't agree on with Ms. Brooks. Me and Ms. Brooks had some disagreements. I needed you to do your job. I need you to tell these judges how it is. And she didn't want to go do that. So it's a thing where I'm going to tell the Justice Department, Doug Shedemaya, the first lawyer. One of the words when I listened to him, he said about what most people, when they be innocent, they leave jail with nothing. Me and this girl that was talking, and we was talking, and the guy who was talking, he was under Doug Shedemaya lawyer leadership. And I'm going to tell her, I listened, but some words I didn't agree with. You know, when I was talking to the IPS worker, the two women, the two black women from IPS, they didn't come and see me. And we talked about, when I told the Justice Department, they talked about their clients and their attorneys not taking good care of them. And they were like, Hubert, don't be that person, because I told them they can't come and stay with me. And these people got to stay at shelters. They got to do all of this stuff. And me by listening to them, I told the two girls that I talked to that didn't come to my house, and I told the Justice Department will reward them, because Steve and the girl that I talked to, and we kind of had that great understanding where we were just listening to each other. She listened to what I had to say, and I listened to her. And that way it came with the great understanding that. And I think that was more important when she talked about state attorneys not caring about their clients. And Doug Shedemaya just try to brush me with attitudes. And the other lawyers just try to brush me off. And I don't think that was right. And I had to tell him that, like, we talked about state attorneys not caring about them. We see it in the thing. So I say we come up with a law where if a government violate, if a judge talk bad to mistreat a client, that state attorney will get 10,000. That means we're gonna file a fine motion again. Because when I was standing right there, and this black lady that was treating me bad, and I reported it to the justice, she was being mighty aggressive with me. And I realized something, that the camera was on me the whole time. And I said, I have to be calm. I have to be calm when that camera's on me. Even though I haven't even left the podium yet, she telling me to shut up and being aggressive. And I said, I want my justice for that judge being aggressive. But the other white lady, she was being so nice. And I said, check out the other behavior, how calm she was. You know, everybody don't come in there is not going to be rude towards you when they go to jail. And they have to understand that you have to know how to just be respectful towards that person. Everybody's not going to have, everybody's attitude is going to be different from each personality. And we have to understand that when we are dealing with court and these judges and these district attorneys gotta understand those things. All right, yeah, I was crying, but let me tell you what this lady did. She told me to stand up and she waved me my right. She wasn't aggressive with it. She wasn't none of those things like this black lady was. And I said, I want you to look at it. I still had a time to talk, and she was being aggressive with me, telling me to shut up. Because what I did, let me tell you what I did. I heard what she said to the next client. I'm not seeing everything on here or with the DEA and them showing me. And I was like, okay, you read me my rights, and I'm listening to you. And I know I'm innocent. So and she couldn't take it. This black judge couldn't take it. It was to a point where she couldn't take it. And she still wanted to be aggressive with me. And she could not take it. She still wanted to be aggressive with me. And I'm just sitting up there. That's why we need to create a fine motion against a judge where that judge find that motion. And we be calm. And our state attorney, this is for the people that don't got an attorney. That bill will pass where your state attorney will get half that money. 400 to that dollars will come to they're gonna have a credit card account. And they will have to file that money on their income tax. That money will come into their own account, government account. It will come to their own account. It will come into their own what that is. Every state attorney and every state attorney and every state attorney will have a bonus card. When we standing by our clients, you state attorneys standing by our client, we're gonna pass this bill into effect, a fine motion against the judge. And that fine motion, they're like when I see in a lawyer, when we ask for another lawyer, I should ask my other lawyer, to file a fine motion against that lawyer. That state attorney will get fined $10,000. And then your lawyer, that new lawyer you got, will get half of that money. So now, I know we can't afford attorney. God said we know we can't afford state attorneys. We can't afford a real lawyer. But let's make it where the state attorneys can get blessed too. And they can get blessed when things are not going right. And they've been good to you. They've been kind to you. And that's why I wanted another lawyer, because I know this was going to happen. I know the situation was going to happen. They tried to deny me. So we should find a fine motion whenever we get another lawyer, and find a fine motion against that other state attorney, and that other state attorney will get fined for it. Daddy, yeah. Yeah, we're going to go get something to eat. All right. Do you got to use the bathroom? You just wake up and you don't use the bathroom? You know what? Just because you the kid, I mean you have to be controlled, look, dude. But I'm gonna go get you something. Hold up.